What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Free to Roam. We got a fun one for you today. That's right, we're taking the Jet Luxury Motor Coach all the way from here in Washington, D.C. to New York City. Let's ride. Our route today would begin in Metro Center, Washington, D.C. and follow I-95 all the way up through Baltimore, Wilmington, Philadelphia, and New Jersey before arriving a little over 4 hours later in Hudson Yards, New York City. And there she is, sitting in the sunshine in all her glory. At 45 feet long, the Prevost-built passenger coach looks long and sleek and is definitely something you would notice rolling down the freeway. As far as buses go, she pretty. The whole process to board is smooth and efficient. I printed out my ticket because I didn't see a way to add my ticket to Apple Wallet like I would typically do with a boarding pass for a plane, and I did not want to screenshot the QR code lest I end up in one of those situations like at a football game or a concert or something, and there are like flashing red lights telling you not to screenshot the ticket because it won't work, and there's also a chance they'll execute your entire family if you try. Well, I didn't want to risk that fate, or a similarly bad fate, of the embarrassment of being denied boarding. Luckily, my fears were calmed by using the technology of our forefathers, and as the driver loaded the bag underneath the bus, it was finally time to board. The bus was due to leave at noon, and I got there a little over 10 minutes early. I highly recommend this, as the pickup spots are in the middle of DC or New York, and you want to leave yourself some time to get there in case various things in the city slow you down. This was just the case for one of the passengers, who called ahead and said they would be late. The Jet can wait 5 minutes past departure for any latecomers, but 6 minutes? Not a chance. The Jet waits 6 minutes for no man. At 4 past noon, we are off and headed to the Big Apple. Alright, time to check out the onboard menu. Unfortunately, none of the snacks are included in your ticket. However, you are entitled to 2 alcoholic drinks, which of course I will be taking advantage of, since this trip to New York happened to be the start of a week-and-a-half vacation for me, and Jimmy Buffett didn't die so I could drink water. After enjoying my #boy lunch, the Jet Chief Operating Officer came through with perhaps the best cookie man has ever invented and a hot towel. Jet calls their equivalent of a flight attendant the Chief Operating Officer, by the way, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, why don't we go take a look around the cabin? While this coach has space for upwards of 40 seats, the Jet has just 14 with a massive 6 feet of space in between rows. There's 1 seat on the right side and 2 on the left. You're able to select your seat at the time of booking, which is nice, especially for solo travelers who may want to choose the right side. At the back of the cabin is a coffee machine and a mini fridge stocked full of drinks. As far as the restroom is concerned, according to the Jet website, it is meant to feel more like a luxury hotel than a motor coach. Well, lucky for you, dear viewer, I am king of bathroom reviews. And yeah, I'll give it to him. The bathroom is very nice and clean. I even witnessed the COO cleaning the restroom between visits, which was really unexpected. The only real issue I had with the restroom, and I'm not sure that there's much they could even do about this, is that the road was very bumpy and you do get thrown around a bit, as I show in this dramatization. I mean really, just 10 out of 10 acting skills. Now, we have to talk about the seats, being the main attraction of the Jet and all. According to Jet, it took them 2 years to design and develop these chairs. They are built with a gel foam base and memory foam back. There's a built-in tray table and a leg rest that pops up with the pull of a lever. The seat is 22 inches wide and can recline to an impressive 45 degrees. There's also tons of legroom. I'm 6'3" and had no problem spreading out. But of course, the thing that Jet is most proud of is that these seats are actually motion canceling. Jet claims that the seats eliminate 90% of bumps and vibrations on the road, and seeing it work in person was really cool. The entire seat moves up and down with the movements of the bus. Now, whether the seat moving up and down actually cancels out the bumps from the road? After riding it for 4 hours, I wasn't entirely convinced. It definitely smooths out the bumps, but does it cancel them? I don't really think so. You're still moving around when bumps hit the road, it's just a different kind of movement. Also, it does nothing to cancel out the side-to-side movement of the bus, only the up and down. But that different kind of movement is still more comfortable than being jarred around every time you hit a pothole, so I give the seat an unofficial score of a B+. There were a couple of other features of the cabin that were reminiscent of a commercial airliner, like the overhead lighting and the bus attendant call button and the overhead storage bins. As we made our way to the Big Apple, I began to wonder whether I would want to take the Jet back to Washington, D.C. once my trip was over. You can book a one-way ticket on the Jet from between $99 to $199 depending on the date, and it'll take you a little over 4 hours to get where you're going, of course depending on traffic. I go between DC and New York a decent bit, and jet is neither the quickest nor cheapest form of travel between the two cities, but it isn't trying to be. It's clearly trying to provide a luxury-focused alternative for people who want that and may not be in a hurry to get where they're going, and I can appreciate that. Now, is it worth it? That's of course up to you, but for me, let's just say I ended up booking an Amtrak ticket to get back to DC for $79 and it took under 4 hours. So I am now walking 2 miles to the Conrad Midtown Manhattan, even though the jet has a partnership with this hotel and will drop you off at this hotel, because either I just completely missed that or the partnership started after I had already purchased my ticket. The Conrad is located on West 54th Street, just a couple blocks south from Central Park. The building is rather massive and the top floors have views of Central Park, or so I'm told. The top floors were a bit out of my price range. Well, let's head inside.
Hi, you checking in?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Sorry, go to the second floor. Don't be coming out at all.
Yes, ma'am.
That'll work in the elevators. 23rd floor elevators around to the right.
Awesome, thank you. Here's a word to the wise if you're ever in a large building. Pay extra close attention to the elevators. Don't be like me, who even took a second to look at the floor numbers next to the elevators and still managed to take the wrong one that only had buttons for a floor 2 floors too high. I guess you could say I was just taking the scenic route. A really unique thing about the Conrad here in New York is that it is almost a suite-only hotel, which I really like, especially for New York City, where some of the hotel rooms can be quite small for the price. I'm looking at you, Park Hyatt. Each suite has at least 500 square feet, and additionally, there are 6 available premium suites that are much larger. After bumbling around like an idiot, I managed to find the stairs and make my way down 2 floors to the 23rd floor where my room is. If your hotel has the option and you are forgetful like me, I really recommend the digital key. No more forgetting it in the room and having to do the walk of shame to the front desk to ask for another. Save the walk of shames for your one-night stands, okay people? Honestly, I was pretty blown away with first impressions of this suite. Not only was it huge, but it was also bright and airy and open. Technically, this was labeled as a junior suite, but it was bigger than some other, quote, suites that I have stayed in. One of the 2 TVs was placed in this tasteful media console right next to the window, showing some good views of the surrounding buildings. Even though I didn't get a view of Central Park, I still really liked this view of what appeared to be both some office buildings and some residential ones. Behind the couch was some tasteful art, and hidden well behind this door, made to look like a cabinet, was a mini fridge, with even more tasteful items inside. Let me do a quick check to see if it's beer o'clock yet. Nah, that beer is probably like 20 bucks. Plus, I have a room tour to do. Below the fridge was an espresso machine with all the trimmings, and below that was the snack and wine bar. Let's take a look at the bedroom next. It's underrated how nice it is when you have a suite to have a sort of separate bed area, especially on this trip, as I had a few hours to kill before heading over to a friend's place for dinner, so I was able to get some editing done for you fine folks and didn't have to either lay on the bed to do it or sit at a too small desk with a chair constantly hitting the foot of a way too close bed. Anyways, that bed looks inviting, so let's jump right in. I had to watch myself do this, so now so do you. For those of you on the edge of your seat for a bed review, I am pleased to announce the bed was a 9.3 and the pillows a solid 8.7. While very nice, the pillows could have used some extra firmness. Can you tell? I'm really liking this room. There was a thermostat on the wall that you can clearly tell surprised me by turning on as I walked past, but then perplexed me by turning off when I actually tried to use it. Moving on, past the bedroom was a spacious closet and one of the world's largest mirrors. And next to that was? That's right, you got it, the bathroom. The bathroom was pretty big and looked very modern. I hope that you're comfortable with whoever might be getting dressed in the closet room next to you though, because if you're in this shower, they are definitely going to be seeing all of you. The bathroom had a couple nice backlit mirrors to help you look pretty before a night on the town. Sadly, no amount of mirrors seems to be able to help me. There was a single vanity on the countertop that was surely large enough for 2, and then a shower that was surely large enough for 3, if that's the kind of thing you're into. Inside were provided aromatherapy associate amenities, which honestly, I'm not sure how I felt about. The entire hotel smelled really good, like they definitely sprayed something. But then I felt like these amenities kind of smelled like the dirt part of a garden? I don't know, maybe their ingredients were too natural. Anyways, this room gets a rousing thumbs up. After working up an appetite showing my room to my tens of fans, I decided to go check out the hotel's restaurant for a mid-afternoon snack. The restaurant was called Dabble and featured classic American food. The restaurant seemed to carry forward the modern, open, and airy feel that the rooms had as well. The menu was wildly pricey, but thankfully I had a $25 food and beverage credit on account of my gold status with Hilton. The bar was one of the best looking and well-stocked bars I had seen in recent memory, but the food? Holy cow, what an utter disappointment. You were looking at a $32 chicken sandwich that tasted as bad as it looked. Anyways, after that, I went over to my friend's apartment for a bit and then came back and got straight to bed because I had an early flight out in the morning. I highly recommend this hotel if you're in New York. Maybe just choose to eat somewhere else though. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this video and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.